Salutations! Welcome to the conversation. I am your host, the Queen of Shade, and I would like to formally, cordially, gleefully, and joyfully welcome you to One-on-One with the Queen of Shade Season 2. There are going to be a lot of surprises in this season. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces that have been here before, and some new ones. And it's going to be an amazing journey of discovery. Remember, these are not interviews. These are inner views. Let us see what your soul looks like. So pull up a chair and don't forget to comment, like, share, and most of all, subscribe. To follow the show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Queen of Shade, and you can follow the show there. There's also a podcast version of the show, but that hasn't come all the way out yet. I did a soft launch, but that will be coming out too. Season 1 was absolutely crazy. There are 253 episodes of Season 1. Yes, I was running off of pure adrenaline, pure spirit, pure excitement, and we got that done. So you can expect Season 2 to be just as magnanimous and crazy and explosive. There will be some great conversations that you will be able to take things away from and apply to your natural life. 253 episodes. Let's see what we do for Season 2. I love all of you and thank you for supporting, watching, commenting, liking, sharing, because baby, we're on this journey together. We're not on here alone. I'm not on here alone. My guests are not on here alone. You're right along with us. So once again, welcome to the conversation. Now let's get to the conversation.
You fall. The Queen of Shade.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. Mister, how's your wife and kids? Do they know you like to handle this? I say, mister, why punish your son? 'Cause his daddy likes my kind of fun. And at night you always call my phone. You're always asking if I'm all alone. And when I tell you that I need your love, you come running just to feel me up.
Fashion Insider, Jamir, Assad.
Salutations, Queen of Shade here, just coming to you with another special presentation, moving full speed ahead with Season 2 of One-on-One with the Queen of Shade. We have been speaking to amazing people all over the world. Having said that, I have a young man that you need to meet. He came into my life this past New York Fashion Week, and we kind of hit it off, and now it's the end of the year, but we're here to have a conversation, not so much an interview, even though I know you're probably curious about him because he looks good, doesn't he? But yeah, so I know you're curious, so we'll ask a couple of things, but not really. This is a conversation. So allow me, without further ado, to welcome to my platform for the first time, not the last time,
Definitely not.
Mr. Mr. Jamir Assad.
Everybody, what's up, guys?
Hey, that gets
What's
everybody.
up?
Pretty good. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How was your day?
It was pretty relaxing. I did a couple things around the house and some laundry, so that was it.
Yeah, it's so funny because people don't they know like how I operate is like how I operate. I'm weird like that, right?
Right.
But it's so funny because I remember when we started talking, after at Fashion Week or this past Fashion Week, and then we started to talk about this. We realized we're in the same city.
We are.
Yeah, we're in Philadelphia.
Well, now I live in New York City, but I'm from
Oh,
Philly,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, you're from
Yeah,
Philly,
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what I love? I love that you live in New York City. So wait, when did that move happen? Did that happen? Were you in living in New York City when we met for Fashion Week?
I believe I was actually. I've been here for 5 years, so yeah,
Okay.
probably more than likely.
Okay. That is amazing. So you're a Philly native. Okay.
I am born
But
and
now you're in
raised.
New York for 5 years? That no. I know
Not
people that won't even last
officially.
5 minutes. I know people that listen, I love New York. When I was a younger queen, I want to say about 20 and 21 years old, I started coming up there to do the castings with, different modeling agencies. I
Mhm.
I had done some things in Philadelphia, and you'll know this. I did Barbizon. I started with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did Barbizon, and they get you out there and stuff like that in the local market. So many people were like, "Oh, you have this androgynous look, and you really should try to go to New York." But they wanted me to pay a shitload of money for them to take me to New York.
Yeah, no.
And they had a contest. I don't want to call it by name because I don't want to slander it, but they had this huge modeling contest, and they kept saying, "If you do the contest, you'll win." But by that time, I had already made up my decision. I'm like, I'm going to New York and just in the belly of the beast. I'm just going to thug it out.
Yeah.
And it was definitely. I remember I first got there. When I first got there, I was so terrified because I was walking down the street. I was walking down the street, and I'm going to say this. I was walking down the street with my friend. This Caucasian lady checked me so hard. I popped off the curb into the street.
Yeah, New Yorkers are a little reckless.
I was like, shit! Like, my friend was like, calm down, calm down, calm down. I was like, and
I
she,
mean, we're always in a hurry. That's what it is. They're always
she
in a rush
didn't
to
look,
get somewhere.
she didn't look back. She didn't ask if I was okay. She didn't say, excuse me. I was ready to fight her. I was ready to fight her.
Sounds like a typical New York day for me.
Yes. So I learned quick. So I learned very quickly that New Yorkers are always in a hurry. You see me, I see you. Do you have more room to move, or do I have more room to move? They assess that very quickly. I clearly had more room to move and didn't understand. Just move over.
So she made you move.
Yeah, she listen. She taught me real quick. You had more room to move. So I got the hang of it. For many of my early years, from that time 20 till about 22. Yeah, till about 22, I was going to the castings and seeing the different
So,
agencies, and it was so funny because I know now what I didn't know then. Because one at Boss Model Management, they told me, "You have the look, you're gonna make it, but you won't make it in New York City." They were like, you have more of a European build, you're thin, you need to go to Paris. And that's what I did. So, I was very fortunate for my time in New York, but New York still remains one of my most favorite cities in the world. I do. I enjoy it.
city of all cities for sure.
Yeah. So now that was a segue. So now, 5 years. What do you
Yeah.
like about it? What drew you there?
So initially I moved for work. I always wanted to live here when I was a kid. It was kind of like this big aspirational city for me. Um, the city of hopes and dreams. And then you get here and you realize it's not really. It's the city of rats and a bunch of other shit. I don't know if I can curse,
Yes, you
but
can. Yes, you can. Yes, you
but
can.
I mean, I have fulfilled my childhood fantasy of living here. I don't know how much longer I plan on staying. I feel like I came, I saw, I conquered. I do love the city, but it's tough. It's a very tough city. It's very expensive for no apparent reason. Like my apartment, you might hear some noise because it's small, so you hear people in the hallways and stuff. So, but I do love New York City, and I'm moving initially for work, and then I just kind of stayed here, just kind of living the dream.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's so crazy? From your Instagram, I love that you are a fashionista, not a fashionista. You know, like you're a fashionista. And I love your style. It's more urban chic. I love
Yes.
that. Like, yeah, I love that's the way I would describe it. I've heard that term before. So it's really urban chic. But how tall are you? Because you're tall.
I'm not actually. I'm actually not short, but I'm not tall. I'm only 5'10" and a quarter.
Okay.
A lot of people think that I look really, really tall, photograph tall. So I guess I know my angles.
Yeah, because I'm 5'11".
Okay, so you're taller than me.
Yeah, not please. That ain't nothing. That's a head nod, and you'll be right on my level.
Yes, as soon as they say they want a six with the number, so like if it's not a six, you're not tall apparently. So, but we're taller than the average. So I like to
But
say I'm not short, but I'm not tall.
Naomi Campbell's 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah,
Tyra
I've seen her in
Banks is
person.
5'11".
Hmm.
Giselle Bundchen, I think she may be over 6 feet. But I'm naming girls because when I went to Paris, they told me you need to be doing the women's shows. You have that androgynous look. So for me,
Okay,
5'11" worked because I was going to be doing the women's shows. So it
right.
works for me. But yeah, the men, yeah. But I've seen them. I've seen them take a model. There was a famous male model years ago. I'm talking back in 03, 04. He was famous. He was 5'10".
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the guys you see, you think when you see them online, they look larger than life, and then you see them in person, and you're like, oh, okay, he's not as big as I thought he was. So I'm
Mm-mm.
one of those people, allegedly.
Yeah, yeah. Like it, and that's true though, because what people don't understand is fashion, the business of fashion, being a model, it's an illusion.
Hmm.
It's an
You got to
illusion.
sell the fantasy, baby.
Yes. You have so many models, even myself. When I would pose in as just a regular brown boy, I would give you waif. Like I looked the part. I could take a mean photo. My sexuality wasn't on parade. Like it was just like that. I could do that. But then when you met me and I said, "Hi, how are you?" They're like, "Oh no," the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers like, "Oh," because they all gay, child, and feminine. "Oh
Yeah.
no, child, you ain't getting in here. You ain't getting in here." I'm like, ah. So yeah, Paris was better for me. Paris was better for me when I stepped there. When I got there, August 5th of 2005. That's how long
Oh.
I've been doing this. I met huge famous photographers who have since passed because I'm 42 now.
Oh, you look great.
Everybody says that they like what? So yeah, I'm 42 year now. So I was doing that at 20, 21, 22. So I met famous photographers that really shaped my career in New York and Paris, and they both passed during like right after the like pandemic. Like
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
so it was kind of crazy because no one believed in me at first. And then I finally get these photographers that are literally giving me pictures of death, honey. Like the pictures were so like, because literally going into the agencies, they would say, "Who took these pictures?" And I would take and say who they were, and they would consider me. And they would like that would get my foot through the door. But what they weren't saying, what I know now, is that the reason why I wasn't snatched up is because I was walking into a business looking to be my own small business with no capital.
Mm,
It's the model's job. You pay for the photos, you pay for the flight.
absolutely.
There's so much, and a lot of the things that we've seen and heard, they're always like, "Oh, I was walking down the street and such discovered me." No, you didn't. You grinded in the belly of the beast for 3 years in New York, and nobody was checking for you. You had to get your skin together. You had to fix your teeth.
Hmm.
You had to tan because see, they don't know black folk tan. So a lot of models will tan to get that beautiful chocolate color all year round. They don't even know that.
Okay.
So, the pan. See, I don't want to give away all the secrets because fashion is still my first love. But literally, you realize like, oh, so Paris was much better for me. Unfortunately, I'm bipolar, and I didn't know that until I was 19. That's what abruptly stopped my college career because I was going to college biology, pre-veterinary medicine, minor
Wow.
psychology, minor psychology. So I'm a smart cookie, but I had never heard I had never had anybody in my family tell me, about mental illness and the different things like that. Because I got PTSD from my childhood and I have acute anxiety disorder as well. So the combination of those three made it real hard to chase my dream. It made it real hard
Right.
because every rejection that I got, I took very, very hard. And it was almost too hard. Like most of the time back then, it would land me in a hospital a couple of months later because
Wow.
I've had 20 years of therapy now, but I had to learn not to internalize that so much. I find that a lot of people think it's them. And one of my friends who I interviewed here too, he's like, no, it's just the process. It's
hmm
just the process. Those models get in because they keep coming back. They
I
keep,
mean, honestly, I kind of struggle with that myself, being 39.
yeah,
Just trying to navigate this whole fashion industry. It's like you always internalize, what did I do right? Was I not good enough? Like, so it's a very hard, thin line to kind of take yourself out of it and just feel like you're enough.
yeah.
So I still, even 39, I'm still struggling with that. And I have therapy as well. And that's something that I'm working on, is trying to like find more self-worth.
Yeah.
Because when you feel like you know what you bring to the table and everybody else does not see or notice it sometimes, you kind of doubt yourself. So I definitely struggle with that a lot.
Yeah, and since you brought it up, I want them to know, so because we're talking fashion and they don't know why I'm talking fashion to you. So please
Mhm.
explain your connection to fashion. What is your connection to fashion?
So I'm on the retail spectrum of fashion. I'm one of the men's fashion visual coordinators. I don't want to give away the company.
Yeah, no, 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 no. We don't do that here.
Right. So I travel a lot for work now. So I travel from store to store, place to place,
Yeah,
just kind of in charge of what stores should look like, feel like. It's an immersive experience. So when you walk into a place, it's because of me. Not specifically every place, but when you walk in somewhere and you feel like, oh, this is nice, or I like that mannequin, or I like where this is, that's a lot of what I do.
yeah, and that's a beautiful answer. I love how you summed it up without giving too much away because you don't want nobody in your face. And I don't either. No, and I don't either. We don't do that here. No, but I just wanted them to hear the connection,
Yes.
because
I've
what we're
also
doing,
written some things for some magazines and stuff too.
right,
So, some
right,
behind the scenes stuff.
yeah. You know what's so crazy? When I went, oh wow, am I going to tell this story?
Tell it.
I thought about it. See, you fashion, and I almost went there. Okay, I'm gonna tell this story. So I was in Paris, and it was Fashion Week, and I got into, and a lot because I was with a young girl named Anna. I'll say her name. I won't say her last name. She was from Italy, and I won't say where, but she was from Italy, and she looked every bit of the part of a fashion model. And then
Mhm.
me at 22 years old, I had long braids and just no makeup on my face and just thin and wearing, stuff that showed off these damn praying mantis arms and grasshopper legs, and so we met each other because the first day of Fashion Week, she was trying to get in and I was trying to get in. It was at the Louvre, and so there was a lot of security. So I called my friend who I was staying with, and I'm like, "Listen, I'm coming home. I don't think I can do this." He said, "You came all the way from America to do this. You got to try." He is like, just ask these people if they have extra invitations. And that's so funny to me because he wasn't in fashion, didn't care about fashion. But being in France, fashion is such a huge part of their culture, they know about it. And that's something that New Yorkers don't know. We know the Victoria's Secret fashion show and all that. Now,
Right.
because of social media, we're seeing more of the shows and the collections and things like that, and models and this, that, and the other. But yeah, they know. So he was like, ask them. He knew how to get in, and he said, ask these people for invitations. So I started doing that, and I got a lot of no's at first. But there was a young lady, older lady. She was housekeeping at a hotel, and she walked up. They call them au pairs. Okay, let me get it right. Au pair. She was an au pair. It just hit me like, you better get it right. She was an au pair. So what happened was she saw Anna, and she was like, "You trying to get in here?" In her French accent, and she said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, come in with me. I got extras." And I was sitting right next to her, and I said, "Can I come too?"
Of course.
But what I love is when you look the part, she looked me up and down. She was like, "Yes, you definitely need to come with me." So
Absolutely.
from that moment on, I was seeing all the shows. I asked people because the people inside, once you get through security, you weren't directly into the shows. Like people were chilling and hanging and sipping and drinking and doing different things as the models walked through, and the paparazzi was there and all. There's a lot going on before you actually went to a show in Paris.
Mhm.
So I remember everybody looked at me and I was like, okay, I'm here to do it. Let's work. So I like literally I started working in the room. I started working in the room. They were
Yes.
inviting me to do Fashion Week in Oslo. I was making friends with like the editor of Vogue Japan. Like she's like, oh, your look's amazing. They got me into a lot of shows. But what happened is I went to this one show and it was like at some kind of like gymnasium. And it was Yohei Yamamoto. I'll never
Mhm.
forget. And Yohei Yamamoto's show was absolutely fabulous. And we're talking about in 2005. So get this, we only got in. We didn't know if we could go backstage, but
Mhm.
we looked the part. So we said, let's try.
You
So
should.
and we walked backstage and they let us right in. Next thing you know, I'm sipping champagne in Yohei Yamamoto's face. He's standing right here. And I'm telling him, your clothing was amazing. Because I had done research in America before I had gone. You got to know these people. You
Mhm.
got to know what to say. So I was telling him it was an amazing, groundbreaking collection. You're such an innovator. Like I'm talking to him. And he's really looking at me because he's looking at me. He's looking at me. So he's like, yes, thank you, thank you. So he walks away to do something. And a tall black figure, very tall black figure, walks up next to me. And I said, "Oh my God." I said, because I was still shipping the champagne because he handed me a glass. So I don't even really drink, but I took the damn glass.
You're
Okay.
gonna take it that day.
Okay. You get it. Okay. You get it. I took the damn glass. So I took the glass. So anyway, tall black figure walks up next to me. And I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm back here. I'm a fan. He's amazing. And the person standing next to me, he looks down at me and he looks, and this is the thing, they're looking at me. See, I'm stand up.
Okay.
They're looking at me, okay? They're looking at me, okay? So they're looking at me. So he goes, when I said I was a fan, he goes, "I'm so sure." And it was shade, but he wasn't being shady. He
Yeah.
wasn't being shady, but the way he said it was shade, but it wasn't directed at me. It
Right.
wasn't directed at me. He was joking with me. So I didn't know who the hell he was. And I'm getting ready to tell you who he was. And you're going to be like, how you go to Paris? First of all, how you was in New York and didn't know. I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to learn. So next thing I know, cameras surround him. That's when my spidey sense said, oh. So the cameras start surrounding, and I'm still standing next to him. Camera standing. It wasn't his face. When he opened his mouth and started describing colors like chartreuse and all of those things, I said, oh my God, that's Andre Leon Talley.
The icon.
Exactly. I was like, because I had spoken to him. And I'm up here telling Yohei Yamamoto I'm a huge fan. Here's my American icon, and I didn't tell him I was a fan.
Mhm.
I did afterwards, though. The cameras went down. I told him. And he was you gotta understand, he was a giant and he didn't mix words. He said, "You came to Paris from America?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You gonna work, honey. You gotta work." He said, "You gonna work like the renters do every day." And he said, "I see you have this androgynous thing going on. Okay, we understand, but you gonna work." And I was like, "I know, I understand." And that was what he said to me. I go home and my friend says, "I saw you on the news." I was
Oh,
like,
they were
what are you talking
recording
about?
you.
He said, everyone did. Everyone saw you on the news standing next to Andre Leon Talley and taking a glass of champagne from Yohei Yamamoto. I was like, oh my God.
Living the fantasy, baby.
Exactly. But you know what's so crazy? It was short lived because bipolar disorder, when it is untreated, the stress. The
Mhm.
stress of it all. Every day I woke at 5 a.m. and I would get on the metro and I would get to a certain part of town near the Louvre and I would walk. The Jardin Concorde was there and Tuileries was right there. And, so I would walk and kind of go through the park and kind of try to collect my thoughts. Like, you came here, you're here now, you got to do this. Like, I would give myself that pep talk before I would be seen. And it just was so stressful that I was triggered and I wasn't medicated then. So I ended up like having like a breakdown and having to I was there 6 months, but I spent the last two in a hospital trying to get myself together. Yeah.
Right.
But I tell people that because look at me now.
Absolutely.
And the thing about it was, I met a journalist, a huge fashion icon of a journalist named Diane Pernay. She was a fashion designer back in like the 80s and the 70s in New York City. And she married a Frenchman and moved to France. And she remembers she was coming up out of the metro station at Concorde. And literally, I was going down and I stopped her. And I said, hey, hi, I've seen you. I know that you are fashion affiliated. Thank God for the good education. I know that you're fashion affiliated. I love what you're wearing because she wore all black and her hair was up real high. And she had like silk scarves coming out of it. And it was all black. And she wore red lipstick. And do you know, I asked her 2 years ago, I contacted her founder and online, thanks to social media. And
Mhm.
literally, I found her and I asked her to sit down with me like this. And I regaled her with the story of how we met. And she was like, I don't need the story. I know exactly who you are. I remember
Wow.
from
That's amazing.
from 2005 to like 2021. I made that kind of impression. And I was just like, she reminded me, you're never too old. You're never too old. You got to
Mhm.
get in where you fit in. And another editor told me, you have to use every skill in your toolbox to
Mhm.
arise a respected opinion in this business. So I went that way because I wanted people to understand I'm about to commend you because even on the commercial side of fashion, that
Mhm.
shit ain't easy. That
No.
shit ain't easy. I know, like I'm sitting here, I'm looking at you. First of all, I love your fit today. I said that
Thank
when we
you.
first
This was
started.
a very chill day for me today.
I love it. I love it. I don't want to ask who you're wearing, but I'm tempted. But no, I'm tempted. The glasses though. Who are the glasses?
Yes. The glasses are Bottega.
See? Okay, now I'm gonna ask. What you wearing?
So I'm wearing this is a like a little. It's almost a. It is actually a Carhartt and Marnie
Okay.
shirt.
Okay.
The hat is actually a custom thing that I made myself.
Yeah.
Kind of little plug there.
Yes.
And then at the bottom, I'm wearing just some regular old like cut off shirts because I'm in the house.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you saw what I was wearing. I get trash. I do
You
that. I'm like,
came dressed, baby.
yeah. Well, no, like, cause I gotta be the ringleader here. So, but no, like, I love that, and now I'm gonna ask about it. So you also design your own things, custom.
Yes, I customize things. I've been getting a lot into it lately,
Mhm.
because my schedule's been freed up a little bit
Yeah,
these days. With the holidays rolling out, kind of already put forth all the stuff that I had to do.
yeah,
So I've had a little bit more free time to kind of be dazzle, be jewel, whatever.
yeah,
In preparation for the upcoming fashion week, I'm probably going to be making a lot more things for myself.
yeah.
Because I realize like I do fashion week every year, every season. I get invites to all the shows. And I'm always plugging other people, other brands, and I'm my own brand. I've been my own brand since I've been born, honestly. And I just need to keep pushing that forward. So I will be making more stuff for myself as of lately.
You know what? I love that you are a creative. I
Thank you.
love it. Like, but get it. You are real creative. I can feel it. Like I'm real big in energy. I can feel it. And I'm gonna tell you what else I can feel. It doesn't always go your way, but let me tell you something. Stick with it. Stick.
Thank you.
You have a destiny and you're walking. I'm getting goosebumps. That's when my ancestors show up. You're getting ready to walk smack dab into your destiny. And you would have never dreamed it was going to be what it's going to be. And it will be fashion related.
I take that. Okay, manifestation is a real thing.
Take it. You just keep doing what you're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track. So it's
Thank
not,
you.
so what am I telling you? It's not time to leave New York.
You are.
Not time. Not time. Not at all. Not by a long shot. Stay.
Okay. I
Stay.
mean, I've been on the fence about it. I'm like, do I
Yeah.
want to
No.
stay? I feel like I'm
Stay.
kind of.
No. Stay. That's what I got from spirit for you right there. Stay. Okay, I can stop doing that. The energy was really strong. It was
Listen,
really
I'm taking it
strong.
all in.
Yeah,
Just
it was really strong. I had to do this to kind of like be able to talk through it. It's really strong. No, so yeah, I do all of that stuff. So no, but yes, stay. You are getting ready to walk into something that's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, oh my God, I had no idea. I didn't see this coming. And that's how it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be, you're going to be like, I didn't see this coming at all. But yeah.
I'm
So
taking that in.
yeah, so like you said, you go to the fashion weeks every year, you get invites everywhere. So listen, have you been to Laquan Smith?
I have, and he's actually a friend of mine.
Let me tell you something. Can you please tell your friend that I love him?
I will.
Can
Laquan
you,
is such a
and I
sweet
mean,
person.
yeah, like no, but tell him that he is so innovative. I love what he put Victoria Monet in. I
Yes.
forget what show it was, but she was going to something and it was all black and it was real low. I gotta remember. I forget what the event was. I reposted it, but it was like he went with her. He went with her.
Yeah.
It was on her arm. So do you know what event I'm talking about?
It might have been. I don't know. If, it might have been the CFDA event, maybe.
Okay, okay, but it was when I tell you it was a dream realized on her.
Hmm.
I was like,
She's a cutie.
oh yes, and she's so kind. I love her. No,
Hmm.
but and she can sing her ass off. She can sing her ass off. So yeah, that's the music world. I'm in that world too. I dibble and dabble. Like I
You
do.
gotta
I
be
dibble and dabble.
multifaceted these days.
Yeah, you know what was I told? You got to use every single skill and talent that you
Mhm.
have to arrive a respected opinion in this business. So that's what
Absolutely.
I'm doing. I got music out. I got that all. So tell me, like, okay, so I'm keeping you in fashion, but we're gonna move now. So
Hmm.
because there's so much more to you, and that's another thing. People don't realize, that fashion, we're just like everybody else.
Oh,
We're like
absolutely.
everybody else.
I'm
You
a
know,
goofball just like everybody else.
goofball, funny, comical. But I do.
Hmm.
I love New York. Like you said, the two things that got me going, because it's New York and fashion. It's just that's my thing. That's my thing. So
Yes.
before, like, oh my God. So yeah, let's move. So turn around, and you're a Philadelphia native.
Yes.
You grew up in Philly.
Yes.
Wow. So you left 5 years ago.
I left 5 years ago for work, and I've been here ever
Okay.
since.
Were you in fashion here?
In Philadelphia,
Yeah.
I would do things kind of more under the radar, kind of. I wasn't really like mainstream. I would actually come up to New York all the time for Fashion Week. That's how it started. For me, it started maybe like 12 years ago coming up here and just kind of being seen and on the scene. But Philadelphia, to me, I feel like it's still a growing space for fashion. A lot of the fashion people that I know and appreciate actually are from Philly and Jersey, and transplants that live here now. So, we have it. It's just that we don't get the focus like New York does.
Yeah, I used to do it. I used to do a couple of shows. I did shows for I actually pulled out, this is bad. I pulled out of the Gene Tricks show.
Oh, we love them.
Yeah, I love them too. I love them too, but I was sick. I was getting manic at that time. So
Yeah,
like it was not good. So I had to pull out of that show. But Gene Tricks, I love them. That's who comes to mind. That duo, they are an amazing duo. I love
they've
them
been doing it for a while
a
too.
long time. So
Hmm.
it's always lovely to see them get their flowers and their accolades because they
Hmm.
They are the ones that really, like, they had Philly by the balls. Everybody else was trying, but they had Philly by the balls, and you saw them. Like, I watched them. Me and my girlfriend and my best friend, her name is Carol McPherson. She's into fashion as well. She makes her own things, and I mean high end this. She's got Prada, Gucci, all that stuff. She loves that stuff. Because she's a fashion designer, so she has all of that. She wants to make clothes for me. She's good. Like, she's really good. Like, I mean really good. So we were going to do it, and we just, I pulled out. I was too sick. I had to pull out. But I wish I had done it. But that would have been, it would have been in Philly, and it would have been, I don't know where I would have gone. Like, as far as that, I would have thanked them for the opportunity, because even when I pulled out, I thanked them for the opportunity, and I just went my way.
Mhm.
But not too long after that, this got born. The viral sensation, because she
The viral sensation.
is a viral sensation. Yes, she is. I've been doing on New Year's. No, yeah, on New Year's Day. On New Year's Day, it is my 10th anniversary in front of the camera. I
Wow.
have literally posted Queen of Shade content every day for 10 years straight.
What prompted you to kind of jump into that?
Well, like I said, I started in fashion, and then when I got sick and I had that kind of that ship, what I felt sailed at the time, I realized, because they didn't tell me, but I realized soon. I'm pretty wise. I wise up really fast. I realized, okay, you have no capital for this. So then, of course, I took my broke ass into music. So it's okay. You didn't have no money for there. Now you want to take and come over here where it's really expensive with
Mhm.
no money. So, but I started YouTubing and just getting my voice out there. And I'm a huge content creator. One thing about bipolar type 1 is when it is under control, I always have, I haven't been hospitalized in 20 years. And literally, and I mean, I used to be hospitalized everywhere. New York, I remember when Cabrini was open, they closed Cabrini
Mhm.
Medical Center. I was there. Like it just, I was always hospitalized. But it's been 21 years since 20 about 20 21 years since I've been hospitalized.
That's good.
But I get the energy. I get the energy. So I am like, and my brain naturally, I'm naturally a creative. So
Mhm.
I can create. It never takes me more than 15 minutes to write a song, but I have help. My ancestors, I have an uncle Sidney who died, who was in the band and music. So I'm a spirit medium. I do a lot. I'm not Christian.
Mhm.
I had my roots in the Christian church, but then I went further back to Africa kind of with that.
Right.
Shaman, seer, healer, prophet, medium, clairvoyant, all that, Phoenix, Fury, like I got all that stuff going. All of that music and fire, basically.
We love it.
Yeah. It's actually how I do my job. It's what got me here. Because
Yes.
literally my voice is unique. I'm a mezzo soprano, but everybody's singing. I needed something different. And
Mhm.
there was a need, there was a void. And I filled it with my spiritual aspect. And then that's what went viral. I used to appear online for 15 seconds because that's how long the videos were when I first started on Instagram.
Mhm.
15 seconds, and I would be in my grandmother's crazy church hat, and I worked out a lot then, so I would have bare chest and I would have on jewelry, and I would go at it. Sweetheart, your haters don't matter. Like I gave you the drama. Like yes, and then I always at the end of it said bitch. Like I just, yeah, I was it was it was drama. It was drama. It was all drama. But it kept building. And what's so crazy is I didn't have LLCs when I started. I
Mhm.
was using the handle the Queen of Shade. I didn't have it trademarked at that time either. And what's so crazy is I tell people this all the time because I mentor people as well. My viral moment happened. I wasn't ready for it. Like now, when my second viral moment happens, everything's in place. Music, merchandise, everything is there. I had to literally build it while I was viral. And that was really hard to do because you have to keep that attention long enough to garner anything from it. So it
Right.
was like, and I did. I was able to do that. And then came the hair, then came the makeup and things like that. And the shade changed as well because I used to be real shady. I used to because I have integrity. So I used to talk about, oh, you hoes are out here sucking dick on your knees to get opportunities that ain't really opportunities. Yeah, I used to go in because I was mad. I was mad because I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, listen,
Right.
people used to say to me, like, bitch, if you do this, you actually like this shit. I had gay for pay men. I love them. I had gay for pay men in New York telling me, like, bitch, you like this shit. Do this and get us in. Do this because I used to run with them. So it was like, do this and get us in. But I couldn't bring myself. The integrity of it all.
Right.
I couldn't bring myself. So I went a different way. And I hope those guys are all right. I see them every now and then, but I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here. So yeah, but no, like fashion was great, but then music, the content is what started on YouTube. That's when I realized, okay, I may not know anything about bipolar disorder or all these other disorders that I have, but it's time to learn because now I actually have an audience.
Mhm.
And I was losing my shit in front of my audience. And they're like, what's going on? What's wrong? What happened? And there were a lot of questions. So that's when I checked myself into the hospital for the last time. And it's kind of crazy too, because that hospital was a really prestigious hospital, Pennsylvania Hospital. You know it here in Philly,
Mhm.
Pennsylvania Hospital down there in Old City. So what happened? I didn't live too far. I lived on South Street at that time. Cater, which was right there. I could
Oh,
literally,
right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
you see, right there. There was a co-op there, and I managed to get one of the co-ops, and that's how I was living down there. And you'll never guess what I did for a living while I lived there. I'm gonna pause. You'll never guess.
Is it service related?
I was a female phone sex agent.
Oh wow. I can see that for you actually.
The
You
voice.
have the voice for
Ah,
sure.
oh, yeah, the voice. Like that's what did it. And like it's so crazy because it's even me, like even when I hear my own voice, because I do like a lot of stuff for people, birthday shout outs and all these things, to further get out there. I'll hear my voice and I'm like, bitch. The voice, the voice, the voice. Yeah,
Mhm.
my producers have since told me, bitch, you know your voice is signature. It's signature. But yeah,
It's
so
your voice.
yeah, it's signature. Even the way I sing, it's signature because you would never think you can hear me now and it's still kind of full at the bottom, but you
Mhm.
never realize when I go to sing, I'm all
Oh, you at the top.
up all the way at the top. No, but like that's what made me realize I needed to get my ducks in a row. So then
Mhm.
that's when I started building the career because I had people actually watching. Before
Mhm.
they weren't watching, they were watching. So I had to get myself together. And that's what I did. And it took me 20 years to do that. But at the same time, 10 of those years have been spent as the Queen of Shade and posting. And I wanted to be able to mentally handle it. And that's another thing too. When I was going to say this to you too, when you love something that you do, it's not working. Um,
Right.
you don't tire. You don't, it feeds you. It gives you, a reason for being and it gives you the energy you need. And
Absolutely.
that's what it did. I have over 60,000 monologues that I created.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Jeez, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, if you look at Instagram, it tells you that I have over 55,000 posts to my account. Yeah, it's crazy. I have videos that no one has ever seen. I work like that.
Mhm.
I have hundreds of videos, monologues that I have talked about different things and aspects in life, channeled and given guidance, hundreds of them waiting to go. It's just the way I am. But anyway, less about me and more about you, Miss. So tell us, like, because I like on your social media,
Yes.
it's always a fashion moment with you. Okay, so
Yes.
I know
It's
you're
always a moment.
yes, it's always a fashion moment with you. So like when you're like, moving around New York and you're because now you're a New Yorker, you live there. What okay, if I didn't know New York, what would be the perfect way to experience New York and tie in fashion district, all these different, what would be the great thing about New York to see?
So for me, I feel inspired by Soho. It's like probably to me, it's probably one of the most fashion oriented areas in the city. There's a bunch of stores around, like every two steps there's a Prada, there's a Louis Vuitton, and all these stores. But I feel like there's young kids that hang there that are like into the streetwear culture, and then there's people that are foreigners and visitors. So like you get this melting pot of everything, and people step out. Like I feel like it's kind of a mandatory thing to just put your best dress on when you come down to Soho. So I feel like if you were to experience New York City and you were looking for fashion, Soho is definitely the area.
Wow. Thank you for that. I remember. I remember. I've,
Yes.
I have friends that own boutiques there. So tell me, so are you an only child?
I am not. I have an older brother on my mother's side and an older brother on my dad's side as well. So I am the baby. Gotta love me.
Well, you know what? Oh, I love that. I remember that show, The Monsters. Yeah, dinosaurs. They were dinosaurs. Yeah, get this. How did they take your love of fashion? Because fashion is something where, like men, for some reason, have an issue with fashion. They think everybody in fashion is, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they aren't wrong, 100%. But
Why you
uh,
confirm that? You shouldn't have confirmed that.
so for me, it's I feel like my family is always kind of like my family is probably the reason why I'm into fashion because I used to always be with my aunts on my dad's side, and they would shop every weekend when I was there. Like literally, we were in some store in the mall. And my mom too, even now, she's always, oh, I just bought this purse. I got these shoes to match this purse. And she be drooling and bedazzling and stuff too. So I kind of have it honest. My family's kind of the reason why I'm into fashion. My mom always would buy fashion magazines, Ebony Essence, Vogue. So I've always had that around. Now how I harness that into my own, I just kind of always experimented, especially when I moved. I felt a little more comfortable. So I just felt like I could just wear what I wanted and not be judged. Because to be honest, like in Philadelphia, sometimes I felt like, you know, it was a little closed minded. So me coming outside, dressing how I dress, sometimes was kind of alerting and alarming for people. So when I moved to New York City, it was just kind of like, go for it, bitch.
Yes. Yes. So would you say that you found yourself there? You moved and then you found yourself and freed yourself there in New York.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I already knew who I was, and I felt like I was always like trying to tell that story, but I also had to be safe. So
Yeah.
I would do it in a way that felt comfortable to me, but also like not pushing it too far. I feel like, yeah, like when I moved to New York City, I definitely felt like I just kind of zoned into a different level.
Yeah. That's how I feel. It's ironic. I don't go out in all of America. I got to go back to France. I got to go back to France. I know where my passport, because I lost my passport in 2005 getting sick. The U.S. Embassy cut me a temporary one and then
Hmm.
they flew me home. But they said before you will ever be able to get your wings again, you have to pay us the money we loaned you to get home. But get this, listen, I turned around and I came back and I was out of commission for a year. But they called me and it was like, "Oh, you won't have your wings if you don't pay us back." That's what I heard. My wings, I had found Paris, I had found the place that I belonged. Before he called me back to do the scheduling for the payment plan, I had already paid that sucker in full.
Like, baby, here go your
Already.
coins.
And get it, to this day, I still don't know how I did that. I don't know how I did that. The will, the way, the determination, like it was
Hmm.
quick. Like literally, I paid that, but I still never went and got my wings again. But what happened was when I went this time I went in September to get my wings, and that's what I call them because that's what they are, my wings.
Hmm.
So I turn around, and that was '06. They wrote me a letter because see, my grandmama, she ain't play no games. If you telling me I'm paid in full, please send me a letter that says that.
Okay, I
So
need receipts.
right, okay. So literally, I had the old tattered letter that they sent me saying that I had paid in full because I was nervous about trying to apply for my wings. I thought they might be like, "Oh my God," and because I had changed my name. See, I had a whole full name change. Like the world knows me as the Queen of Shade, but I changed my name to Bjorn Dufault. That's my legal name. So I was like, when my passport first came out, it was under Kali Payton. So I'm like, oh my God, I felt like I was hitting the government with too many red flags, and they was gonna be like, nah,
They're
nah,
like, wait a minute now.
yeah, like what's going on here? But they didn't. Actually, it took longer. It took longer than my family's, because what happened was my whole family's going with me, and I don't mean like all my relatives. I mean like my nuclear family. It's my grandmother
Hmm.
and my nephew. That's my nuclear family. We're three peas in a pod. We're geniuses. We talk to each other, come up with ideas. We get each other straight and right. We all live in the same house with two cats. Like that's us. Theirs came, and I was so nervous because mine, I paid for expedited shipping, like to get it fast. So that
Hmm.
theirs came in a week. It took me a month to get mine. I was
Oh
like, they're
wow.
not going to give me my wings. They're not going to give me my wings. But I sent the letter. I sent the letter off saying like I had paid. So, but that, I guess they had to verify, and they also had to verify that my name change was legal, and that took a
Mhm.
while. So once
Yeah.
they did that, they sent me my wings, and I was like, because I got to get the hell out of here. I'm like you.
Okay, now like Red Bull, you got your wings, baby.
No, because America ain't it for me. Because see,
Right.
a lot of people, they look at me and they say, "Oh, are you a drag queen?" No, baby, this is natural. This is natural a look. Like I'm the type of person where, like I said, I'm a shaman, but I'm two spirited. I have a masculine spirit and a feminine spirit in one body that makes me whole. Whereas
Hmm.
everyone else is trying to complete themselves. I'm moving on a very powerful, very magical level because I'm
Hmm.
completely whole. Both of my parts are already fused together. So,
Hmm.
I need France because that's where I was embraced to be that two spirited being. That's where I feel, because New York is great, but I want French fashion. I
That's a different level, babe.
Yes, like I want, yeah. And I've been blessed that I made friends back then, and I've made friends now because of this crown. So I've got a lot of support and a lot of assistance there now. But I got to take my ass out of here. When I tell you out of here,
Take me with you. I'll
right, I
sit
mean,
on the
that's it.
wing.
They like, bitch, don't you leave me. They like, bitch, don't you leave me. No, but it's really serious. And I love that I can run my business anywhere in the world because it's all virtual. So,
Hmm.
like, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my following with me, of course, but, you know, what I'm going to do is I have to do this. I have to keep my business residency here in Philadelphia because that's where it's legal. I have to.
Hmm.
So it'll be a satellite office of my business being opened in France. I have to do it that way. So I will be still coming back and forth to
Okay.
maintain a presence. But, people used to ask me, drag queen. I say, no, I'm a transvestite. I'm a cross dresser. I've been a cross dresser since I was 8 years old.
Hmm.
And, to me, I don't want to look over the top. I want to look as real as possible,
Hmm.
but my face always allowed me to be able to do that. I have on foundation, yes, but only because I need to go back for laser hair removal. Because, when you shave, I got to go back for laser hair removal because I had it once before and my skin was beautiful. But now it's like some small pockets of hair started to come back and I didn't keep up with it. So now I'm all shaving again and I'm like, I can't.
Oh, shaving is.
Yeah,
You
I
see,
can't do
listen,
it.
I was
Yeah.
over the shaving. I couldn't do it anymore. I
I
just
can't.
shaved it down, but I was over the shaving it all
Listen, once a model, always a model. No hair on this face. I don't play. No hair
off.
on this face. I look at models, they have hair on their face. I'm like, I'm like, just get it. Some pockets of the industry have accepted that. Some
Right.
pockets, and especially for men, men work more, and this, men work more in fashion the older we get. But I'm
Hmm.
not trying to be a man in fashion.
Right.
I'm androgyny in fashion. So I can't have no hair on this face. So,
Right.
yeah, but no, I got to go back for laser hair removal. But like, yeah, like I had to tell people, I'm a transvestite, I'm a cross dresser, and they were like, "Well, most cross dressers are straight." I'm like, "Well, you're meeting a gay one. You're meeting a gay one. You're meeting a gay one." You
Question for you now: Do
Yeah.
you, because non-binary is the thing now? Do
Mhm.
you like say that you're non-binary, or do you still say you're transvestite?
You know what's so funny? Well, I changed the name of that because my surrogate auntie Darnell Thomas, he lives in New York as well. Darnell Thomas was the one that said, "Baby, you're a trans illusionist. you're you're doing the change of the opposites. So he's like, you're a transillusionist. So now it's real, that's a real fancy title. So that
Mm.
I'm a transillusionist. But as far as non-binary goes, I actually do have a gender. I have both. And
Right.
that's what some people don't understand even the more. Because I'm like, when I'm dressed like this, you better call me she.
Okay.
When I'm dressed, when I'm not dressed and I'm being myself, that's a he. I want the acknowledgement of both, and get it. My following, my supporters, they have been so gracious to
Mm-hmm.
accept that because literally they see me like this. Most of them call me queen. They don't even call me she. They call me queen. That's
Right.
my nickname. They're like, queen. This is
You
what.
coined it.
Yeah, I did. I trademarked it. Yes, I did. I love when you say they coined it because that's the real term. I did coin it actually.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of crazy. And even with that, I had so many celebrities try to steal it. I had to get a lawyer involved. We had to issue cease and desist. I had
Mm.
major companies try to steal it. And I looked at my grandmother, and my grandmother said, "You are a genius because if you didn't trademark that at the time that you did,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been an upset for me. The rest of my
Yeah.
an upset. Literally, and that's the thing about it. The trademark is $2,000, but I have had to expand my trademark 3 or 4 times now, and you pay $2,000 each time.
Right.
So music, merchandise, all these things. I just expanded it over the summer for literary work. So now I can use it to write, and I
She's a
have
writer.
Oh yeah, I've already got books written. I've got
Yes.
full. I'm talking books. I've got books written. I just, to be honest, I want to self-publish. So I'm holding on to them for a while because I'm not selling. I just, even then, even with modeling, it was easier to walk away because I don't sell any parts of myself. I don't
Mhm.
do that. Now I'll loan you this for an hour, but you're gonna pay through the nose because I'm gonna give you my price times it by 4 and then give you a luxury tax.
Mhm.
I don't play. But yeah, like I believe in maintaining because ownership is how you maintain generational wealth.
Mhm.
That's how you do it. If you turn around and you sell it all off, it dies with you.
I think that's why my little rise has been a little bit slower than some other
Mm.
people. Because I just feel like the integrity of my brand is my brand. I am who I am, and I'm that wholeheartedly. So I'm not selling that out to anybody. So I feel like there's a lot of influencers and people that do what I do that have kind of like skyrocketed because they're working with this one, collaborating with that one, and kind of like dulling down who they are as an artist. And I'm just not going to do that.
And I want to say I commend you for that. And it always is slower. When you're forging a path that has not been forged before, because I'm doing the same thing, it is always slower. Now, don't be like me. I'm impatient sometimes.
Well,
I'm
listen, I'm
impatient.
working on that too.
Okay, because I'm working on that. I really am actively working on that, even in therapy, just to allow the course to go because it's just the process. One of my friends told me the other day, he's like, BJ, it's just the process. It's not that you did something wrong. It's the process. You're going it alone. You want to own it. This is the process. It's nothing you did wrong. It's just the process of how these things are done. So I'm just paying it forward and telling you, keep on going. That's why I said don't leave because something's about to happen that's going to turn it all around. And now that I know what you just said, it'll be on your terms. You'll be able to own it when it happens. And that, let me tell you something, that's even more paramount.
Mhm.
Oh my God, to own it? Oh my God. Like that's what a lot of people don't realize. Ownership. I can do whatever I want with her.
Yep.
Whatever I want with her. Her music, everything, her literature. I can do whatever I want. I remember when I put out my first song, it was called Magic and it was a cute little song. Nobody like they liked it cuz you got to hear my voice, but it
Mhm.
wasn't even really like it wasn't structured or built. It was the first song I ever wrote. Honey, the second song I wrote, it was called Black Stilettos and it was about assuming your position. And for me, it was saying, I'm putting on the wig. I'm putting on the shoes. I'm going to be who I was called to be. I'm not going to run from this anymore.
Mhm.
Honey, that song came out, and I had a famous producer and artist call me and ask me to go on tour with him
Mm.
and another famous artist. And guess what I said? With all due respect, no thank you. He said, with all due respect, why not? And I will never forget it. I held that phone and I said, because, sir, I am not a lunchbox. I did not prepare this entire meal for you to walk along or come along, slap your name on the outside of my lunchbox, and take credit for making the meal inside. He was so angry with me. He told me, "You'll never make it." This was 2013, mind you, before I went viral in 2015. He told me I'd never make it. I was a fool. Slam the phone in my ear. He's in jail now. He's in jail now.
Well,
And
karma's a real
yeah,
bitch.
I'm still here, and I own everything. And I own everything. I'm still here. He's in jail, and that's the thing.
And
Like,
owns nothing.
yeah, like this is the thing. You got to stick to your guns. See what I like, and this is the thing. Even with what I do with the mentoring, I'm doing it from a standpoint of, baby, if you go that way, you're gonna give up a whole
Mhm.
hell of a lot. And I love that here we are again with another creative who is woke. You're woke. You're like, I'm not giving up what my intellectual property. Are you kidding me? You could not offer me enough money to do that. Because
Nope.
it's not just about the money. It's about being able to walk with your head high, knowing you created something that the entire world endorsed or loved.
Hmm.
You know, that, can you imagine? Can you imagine me selling this and never being able to be the queen? Can you imagine how it would hurt that these people have seen my face for a decade, literally a decade, and for them to run up to me and say Queen of Shade and I can't respond? I can't
Right.
say, baby, I'm no longer that. They would look at me and be like, "What? You were the one that said don't sell.
Hmm.
You were the one that taught us don't give up. And you sold it? Do you? It would tank my entire reputation and brand overnight.
For
And
him would be done.
I wouldn't even be able to discuss it. I'd have to live in seclusion because that couldn't happen. Because it wouldn't happen because the person who bought it would sign me to an NDA,
You really be living in Paris then.
right? A no name. A no name. And honey, I built this name. I built
Okay.
this name. I built I no, I just no, I'm not. No, and I commend you for that because it's always slow for us. That's how it
Hmm.
goes. When you want to own it, I had someone at my bank tell me. She said, "Listen, it's always a bull. When you want to do something yourself or on your own, it's the bull. It comes straight at you. It's the horns. You always get the horns when you want to take and do something on your own. But if you stick with it, once you get past those horns and start sliding down the side of that bull to the back side of that bull, smooth sailing, no more horns." And she said that because she was talking about my business. She said, "Baby, you almost there. Smooth sailing, no horns at the back of that bull. You doing it right." And my grandmother was my investor. I was talking about it today. She first started, she gave me her entire retirement. She worked as an educator. She retired in 2005. 2009, she handed me something like 225,000 dollars.
Mm.
Who's doing that? And then picked up my tab for my care, everything I needed, to the tune of now 324,000.
Mm.
It's the only reason I can sit here and be grandiose and say I'm not selling nothing. But I
Okay.
know my counterparts are trying to figure the money part out. It's hard
Mhm.
to hold on to your shit, and the money is an issue.
Right.
You know? So you hold on to it till the money comes. That's what I tell them. You hold on to it. If it never comes, then you hold on to it. Die with it.
Okay.
And I mean that. I mean that. I don't sell it.
I'm
Don't
taking that
sell
in.
it. No. Do not. So get it. I tell my grandma all the time. She says, I do that because I love you. I said, no, you didn't. You did that because this was a business arrangement. I owe you. I said on my page, get this. I'm going to give her money. Her money back plus some. But get this. When she gave it to me, I had never had anyone believe in me like that. I believed it. I was so thankful to her that I became her personal secretary and round the clock caregiver. Her only. She got 4 kids living. I live with her. I'm the round the clock caregiver for
Hmm.
the last 18 years. I gave her service for the last 18 years of my life. I don't believe in not paying off a debt.
Hmm.
No, I don't believe. You can't do that. That's why they always tell you, and I had to learn myself, start small.
Yeah.
Start small. For real, for real. Start small. Because this thing started adding up fast. And
Oh, absolutely. I can imagine.
if her money wasn't there, so it's like 324. I spent 75 of it making music. 75 grand. And you think I'm going to offer my music for free on SoundCloud?
Right. Who the hell you think I am?
I'm looking for the fuck that I'm supposed to give. Are you shitting me?
Hmm.
And get it. The platform is great. I have SoundCloud. You can listen, but the buy link is there. You ain't downloading shit.
Run me that money.
And get this. I'm looking into my own app because as far as music streaming goes, they only give artists a third of a penny per
Hmm.
stream. But you charge your customers $19.99 to have a membership a month. And y'all can't even give us 1 penny. So I'm looking into an app so I can take my money off. I'm gonna take my music off there.
Okay.
Get this. I released my album 2 years ago because I had it out before. I recurated it, remixed, remastered, put it out again 2 years ago. Billion Dollar Voice was the album. It got 5,264,000 streams in
Mm.
Europe. In Europe. Let me say it again. In Europe. I made $860.
Wow.
Something is wrong.
The math ain't mathin'.
Get this. YouTube pays me, and they pay me more than that.
Mm.
Are you shitting me? Now this conversation, we done ran through the hour. But this conversation, I understand it though. This conversation is to encourage you. Stay put.
Yes.
Don't sell. You've got this. The
I
financial
appreciate
piece,
that.
let me tell you something. The financial piece will be an issue. I'm telling you. But
Mm.
it won't be an issue forever. Something's coming. Something's coming for you.
Waiting
And
for it with open arms.
open arms, cause it's coming. You're not gonna recognize yourself. Folk gonna be like, how he go from that to that? Watch. Watch. It's coming for you. Don't lose hope. That daily grind, I know it gets to you. I know you're like, man, I don't want to do this shit no more. I
Okay.
you got to deal with people attitudes. They think they're larger than life. You got to deal with all that. But guess what? Do it with a smile. Do it with
Mm.
a smile cuz you know something they don't know. You won't be serving them forever.
Hmm.
You won't be serving them forever. Nope. And to be quite honest, not much longer.
I am really living for that.
Much longer. Not much longer. You've put in the work. You've paid your
Uh,
dues. You've paid your dues. You have. Now, here's the key. Keep showing your creativity, but do it in a way that protects it. So
yes.
don't unveil something if it ain't. patented, if it ain't copywritten, if it's not trademarked, you start say so that when you show it, can't nobody take it.
Absolutely.
That's where the money comes from. And also, I'm gonna tell you like my friend told me the other night, raise your prices.
Mm.
Raise your prices. I said to him in something like this, I'm not making a lot of money. I don't understand what's going on. He said, Queen, you've been in the business for 21 years. You're not making them pay you for that. All that knowledge, all that experience,
Mm.
hands-on experience. They need to pay for that. He said, you give it to them
Absolutely.
for free. He
You're
said,
professional.
right? He said, no, no, I've been singing for 32 years. When I crack a mic, it sounds like I'm auto-tuned. All my producers say that shit. It ain't no auto-tune on it.
Okay. This is me,
But
baby.
but get this. The blessing is because when I walked away from that major label deal when I was younger, I didn't have to go on tour and ruin and damage my voice. I didn't have to sing song after song after song after song after song after song for them to own. So
Hmm.
my voice is still intact at 42. Fresh as the day is long, fresher than Charmin, fresher than Huggies, honey, and now it serves me.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, I put out 2 albums. This three wait. Fashion Week happened in February.
Hmm.
That one. And I put out 2 runway albums. All runway music. Yes, I did. And then followed that with another studio album. But I had already released one 2 years ago. I don't play. I have a
I
lot of
play it.
75 grand. And
Hmm.
get this. That's pennies. Do you understand? It was the most I could give, but in the industry, you got producers that are leasing beats for 500 grand. The money game adds up fast. You got to get it.
Okay.
And I learned that too. And I also want to say this too. I learned don't try to play name brand everything. Don't try to do that. I found my producer, she was fresh out of engineering school. Her prices have since gone up, but when I first started working with her all those years ago, she was charging me $50 a beat with no royalty.
Wow. You was getting a steal right there.
Let me tell you something. She needed money and I had it.
Okay.
Get it. I'm putting an album out next year, but I got a whole 2 more albums from the beats I bought just in the vault. And we
Sitting in
work
pocket.
together. She is my producer and she's also an artist. But literally, she got management and everything because she's that dope. But literally, just waiting to be recorded. Already wrote the songs. Make it work for
Uh,
you. Make it work for you. You don't got to play on their level. You'll go bankrupt. Oh, I felt led to tell you that. You don't have to play on their level. You'll go bankrupt. Create your own level. They'll come to you. That was something my grandmother taught me, and I did not believe her. I'm gonna tell you the truth. 10 years ago, she said, if you build it, they will come. She said they will come to you. She told me because we started first with music. It was like 2 years before that. It was music, just music. And
Mhm.
it wasn't moving. People were enamored with the voice, but streaming was a third of a penny. So I wasn't making no money. And then we created this character. And she said to me, baby, she gonna open the door. And she did. Now it's go listen to, because I was using my name, Bjorn Dufault, for the music. Now it's go listen to the Queen of Shades music.
Okay.
That's what
That
it is.
trademark, baby.
Yeah. Go listen to the Queen of Shades music. Who's the artist? The Queen of Shade.
Mhm.
Most people don't even call me Bjorn. They like Queen, Queen of Shade, the Queen of Shade. That's it. That's the name. I had
Absolutely.
I had 3 other trademarks. I dropped them. I dropped them. And my lawyer said that was smart. Love you, Marcus. Shout out to Marcus in Fresno, California. He said that was smart. He's an entertainment lawyer. He said, you doubled down. I said, oh, yeah, I doubled down on the one that's really taking me places.
Okay. The one that's opening those doors.
Yeah. Yeah. You have such a creative mind, and I see it and I know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I see it and I know. And you're going to do great things. You have the experience.
I do.
Let me tell you something else God just told me. The divine just said to me, my ancestors, you know what to do. That's the hard part. I
Hmm.
listen to people all day. They pay me all that money. Queen, I need to talk to you. All right, well, pay the fee. They pay the fee. Queen, I want to be a model. You didn't Google how to become a model? You didn't Google? I'll take your $1,000.
Okay.
I'll take $1,000. Cause get it. Cause get it. You paid me. It was $1,000. So I'm gonna give you more than just that. I'm gonna open up and give you the experience. Here it
Mhm.
is. There's so many markets. They don't even know these things. When I first got started, I literally found one of the bookers slipped and let me see a website that they used on the back end that all the bookers use to take and communicate between agencies to take and move their product, which were these bodies, move them around. So get this, I discovered the website and I started using it, and I was emailing hundreds of emails out every day while I sat in my grandmother's class room. And literally, that was 2003, 2004. I sat emailing pictures of myself, my stats to everybody. Got yeses in South Africa, got yeses in Brazil, got yeses in Paris, got yeses in Prague and Nassau, got offered to come to Oslo, Norway. Like but get this. This was the issue.
Okay.
My friends from high school, because I went to high school at Upper Moreland Middle School in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. That's where I'm really from.
Okay, Willow Grove.
Yup, I claim Philly, but I also had a booker tell me, excuse me, where are you from in Philadelphia where they speak as properly as you do? Rock my tea. And then told me, oh, and by the way, I'm from Philadelphia too. You ain't from Philly.
Ooh.
Yeah. He said, you better, he said, you want to get ahead? You better tell him the truth. You from Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. We don't want riffraff. We don't take riffraff. I'm like, damn. Yeah, they cutthroat. I learned that
Okay.
they cut. This industry is cut, and I mean all of it: music, acting, drama, all of it, modeling. They
Hmm.
cutthroat, baby.
They are.
I had mine cut a couple of times, but ain't nobody cutting it. It has been repaired. It has been repaired. So get this: our hour flew, and
It did.
it turned into just encouraging you. Because I see that I can see in the realm of the spirit, you have ideas, and they're good ideas. They're
Hmm.
great ideas. And I want to tell you something too. Stop giving your ideas to people that you feel are already established.
Hmm.
Because they're not paying you for the idea that what the idea is worth. And they're taking it and running with it and making millions while you sit back and don't.
Wow.
I heard that.
That's been an issue for me.
I just so this first time we talk like this, I just heard that.
Hmm.
Stop doing that. My grandmother had to teach me that information is money.
Hmm.
Don't give away your money. They're using you. And that doesn't mean you have to cut them off, but you have to change how you deal with them.
Wow, that one just really settled different because that's been an issue, a recurring issue for me is
I heard
giving
it.
away my
I heard
my
it, baby.
experience.
Baby, I heard it. So if I heard it, that means God saw it.
Hmm.
If I heard it, he saw it and he don't like it. Don't do that no more.
Okay.
And I know it's hard to tell people no. I know it's hard, especially in this business, because the first thing they do is you'll never work again.
Hmm.
That's the first thing they do. But guess what? You have tact. You know you'll figure it out how to maneuver. Oh well, this one I'm really waiting on. I'm saving this one. I'm gonna wait on this one. I don't really put that out there. Even when they ask you what you up to, you ain't gotta tell them. Oh, I gotta just mulling over some things, just doing some brainstorming. You don't have to tell them what you up to. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to tell them a single idea, not one. Or get this. All right, spirit. You can pitch them something that ain't yours.
Throw a little
Something that's
monkey wrench
already been
in it.
done. Something that's already been done. Not stealing from that creative, but I mean, make something up.
Hmm.
Something that ain't got shit to do with that. And then they be like, oh, I can't use that.
Right.
That's how you do it. Keep them off your trail. They're like bloodhounds. They're scenting you. Keep them off your trail.
That's so crazy that you felt that come, because that's literally been a thing for me. So I really, really appreciate that advice.
Yeah. You didn't know this was gonna happen today. We
No.
we knew we was gonna have a conversation. But this, because let me tell you something. You have great things coming to you. And I mean it. Not being a part of, in association with, curator to, that,
Mhm.
no, to you. To you. And I also hear ancestors saying, and we're still so glad that you didn't give up. Because I'm
Thank
hearing
you,
them,
ancestors.
yes, because I hear them saying, you've had things happen to you that should have made you stop.
Yes.
But you love what you do. You love what you do. That is what is getting you through. And your ancestors and the God of heaven sees you.
About to get a little thug tear over here.
No, it's true. It's true. You can tell them we ain't never talked about this.
No.
But this is where it went. This is where it went.
Hmm.
Because that was a message that Spirit wanted you to have.
Hmm.
Now you got it. Now I ain't gonna never be able to get rid of you. We gonna be texting all the time.
Message received,
Right?
okay?
Message received. So listen, all right, our hour is up. So listen, season 1, I did give me 3 words that inspire and empower you. Season 2 is different. Season 2 is make a wish, not for more wishes. Make a wish and say something out loud. Because what this is you are recording it, you are charging it in the atmosphere for it to return to you. But I'm also led to tell you, don't say your ideas. Don't wish for your ideas because Spirit says you don't have to.
Hmm.
So wish for something you want that'll make you happy because that's already coming. You don't need to wish for that.
Okay.
So there you go. Go.
So I wish that myself and people like you and other creatives can actually be popular, paid, and noticed for their creativity, not judged for it. And I just want everybody just to live in their own spaces. Like you're a creative, I'm a creative. And I really wish that this just goes to the stars and beyond for you and for me as well.
From your lips to God's ears.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being with me. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed me working for real. I think y'all
The
gonna
therapy session.
right. That was a spiritual thing right there.
Okay.
I don't even have the bowl with the bones in it. I ain't even look at the bones and say what the bones say. After African shaman, I always say that. Get the bones. What the bones say. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of Mr. Jamir Assad.
Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for being here. Don't go away.
Thank you so much.
So, did you enjoy? Was the conversation everything you thought it would be? It was for me. I love catching up with my friends. It was absolutely amazing. So, if you thought it was amazing, please continue to watch, comment, like, and share. And most of all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you, and I do this for you. Good, wholesome content about self love, self confidence, and self healing. The Queen of Shade loves you all. Remember my name, the Queen of Shade. Mwah.
Could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. And I wish you could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy.
Please subscribe to the Queen of Shades YouTube today for over 1,000 original videos created by the Queen herself. Subscribe today.
Turn that TV down.